Greetings, Cretan learners. My name is Mr. Simbi, and welcome to today's accounting class. In today's class, I'm going to introduce you to ethics, internal control, and GAAP principles. Did you know that every business has its own challenges and risks, and that it is only through managing these challenges and risks that a business can achieve its full potential? In this lesson, I intend to cover the following aspects. Number one, I'm going to ensure that you understand what business ethics are. I will also ensure that you understand internal control processes. In this lesson, I'll also ensure that you understand GAAP principles. All right. Now, it is very important that you remember what you already know. This is what you know, that there is an informal trader and a formal trader. Already you know this, that there are businesses that we call informal as well as your formal businesses. You already know and understand what is indigenous bookkeeping. This you already know. At this point, you already know and are able to distinguish between money that has been received as well as money that has been paid. This you already know. Now, it is very important that I touch on the new words that you're going to find in today's class. One of the words that you have to know is unethical behavior. Unethical behavior. The moment you hear the word unethical behavior, you have to quickly understand that this is wrong business behavior. If something is considered unethical behavior, it means it is wrong business behavior. Then we also have what we call internal control. This is one of the new words that you are hearing for the first time. These are plans that a business has to protect its assets. You'd know that a business would have several assets. Then a business needs to protect these assets, so it will implement or put in place what we call internal controls. All right. I want us now to quickly go on to definition. We want to define what are ethics. When you talk of business ethics, what exactly are we talking about? Here's the definition. These are a set of moral principles, of a profession according to which a person should behave. So when you talk about ethics, we're saying, how should you behave in relation to a profession? It is a set of rules of conduct that provide the distinction between right and wrong behavior. If someone does something, we have to be able to distinguish whether it is right or wrong behavior. And this is what we now call ethics, a set of rules of conduct that provide the distinction between right and wrong behavior. All right. So the next time you see particular conduct, you should be able now to distinguish between right and wrong behavior. Now, we also need to know the different types of business ethics. Okay? Let's see the first one. Business code of ethics. When you talk of a business code of ethics, it is a statement of norms and beliefs, a statement of norms and beliefs of the business, describing acceptable behavior in the workplace. So not everything is acceptable. There has to be what we call acceptable behavior in the workplace. It makes it possible for everyone in the business to know and understand what is considered right and wrong in specific situations. So a business code of ethics, it informs you then of how to behave, whether it is right or wrong in specific situations. When we look at the business code of ethics, you will then understand that most codes will value honesty, integrity, as well as diversity. This is very important. Your honesty, integrity, and your diversity. Now, it gives outsiders confidence when they deal with the organization. Most people, before they engage with another business, they would want to know what is your code of ethics. What do you consider right, as well as what do you consider wrong? It prevents the development of undesirable trends in the future. So a business code of ethics will now help us with all of this. It prevents the development of undesirable trends in the future. Now, we're going to go to the basic principles of ethics, okay? We want to know what are these basic principles of ethics. Let's begin with the first one. Good corporate governance deals with the manner in which a business can be managed. That is, in an ethical or unethical manner. The following principles for good corporate governance. Okay, so we're going to begin now with the first one, leadership. When you look at leadership, the people that have the responsibility of directing the action to others need to ensure that their own actions and those of the people that they lead are always according to the code of ethics. So, leadership. The people who are leading must also be in good standing. We also look at discipline, very important. Employees must work and behave in a controlled way, and this involves obeying certain rules. So employees need to be disciplined. We'll also look at number 3, transparency. Transparency means that the behavior must be such that it is clear that you have nothing to hide. I'm going to go now to number 4, accountability. Accountability means taking responsibility for what you say. Taking responsibility for what you say and do, and being able to justify your actions. Let's quickly go to number 5. Here's my number 5. Fairness. All actions and decisions should be objective. That is, they should be based on facts. They should be based on facts and honesty without being biased. When you deal with a situation, it has to be fair. Let's quickly look at number 6, sustainability. That is, all businesses need to act in a way that shows respect towards the environment so that they can be a better tomorrow, and that there has to be a good use of resources, sustainability. When we use resources, we need to think of tomorrow, sustainability. Number 7, social responsibility. To be aware of the business responsibilities towards the community. So we need to think of the community in this case. That is the people that are around the business where we are operating from. So these are basic principles that we have to consider, all right? Now, what do we then consider an ethical behavior? What do we consider an ethical behavior? Let's quickly go to an ethical behavior. An ethical behavior, what is an ethical behavior? An ethical behavior will include bribery. Bribery is when you use money to pay for you to get out of a particular situation. That is bribery. And then we have fraud. This is misrepresentation. For example, you write a test and the test is out of 60. Then you get, let's say 4 out of 60. The test is out of 60. But then you know if you take this home, it is going to be a big issue. And then you add a 0 here. What you have done is you have brought in misrepresentation. So this therefore becomes fraud. Remember, this is unethical behavior. And then I am also going to talk about declaring bankruptcy to cancel a contract and cut wages. Most unethical employers would make people work, let's say for a week, from your Monday, when you get to Sunday. When you are supposed to get your wages, then the employer comes and say, I don't have money at the bank. And you can see they have papers to prove that they don't have money at the bank. That is an ethical behavior where one declares bankruptcy. Declaring bankruptcy saying there is no money at the bank because you want to cut wages or you want to cancel a contract. These above that I've mentioned will also be found in corruption. These are wrapped up in what we call corruption. For you to understand corruption nicely, I have a case study that I have here of dirty businesses being exposed. It reads, in December 2017 statement, Corruption Watch condemned the Steinhoff. So this is a company that was involved in corrupt behavior. And then it called on the business community to distance itself from this particular company. So whenever a company is being labeled as being corrupt, it is good that other businesses also distance themselves, because with corrupt behavior, you will be going against ethical behavior. And other businesses were found to be corrupt as well in their operations. Now, both Steinhoff and Naspers have been perceived as major success stories in the business realm. In other words, these are businesses that were looked into to check if they were ethical, and they were found to be practicing unethical practices. That is, they were involved in corruption. All right? It is not good for a business to be corrupt. Now, I'm going to quickly move on now to something very important, that is the importance of good ethics. Why is it important to have good ethics? Number one, it will minimize the impact of fraud and poor management. All right? And then I'm going to quickly go on to number two. Why is it important to have good ethics? It will avoid poor business practices. And then thirdly, why is it important to have good ethics? To provide guidance to all stakeholders in a business. And then I'm going to go now to number four. Why is it important to have good ethics? To encourage responsible behavior. And then lastly, the reason why it is important to have good ethics, it is to promote accountability and transparency. My dear learners, we're going to quickly go for an ad break. I'm going to see you just now.